Hey everyone, Sam and Chris from Wyvern Kodiak here. Before we get started, like and subscribe, check out some of the other videos and content that we have on our channels. Thanks a lot. Hey everyone, Sam at Wyvern Kodiak. I'm here checking out the Arno Bernard Turaco. Chris can't be with us today. I grounded him. He was feeding the vegetables to the dog during dinner, and that's just not acceptable. A Kodiak needs his vegetables, so I put him in the corner. Anyhow, I'm flying solo. And let's check out this knife. So Arno Bernard is a maker out of South Africa, and he makes some incredible stuff. You've probably seen the iMamba before, and if you haven't, I definitely recommend you check that out. It comes with this beautiful challenge coin. Really, really nice. A hank. It's a Frank's Hanks. I'm not going to take this out because then I have to fold the whole thing back up again. And then the knife and a leather slip. So we'll put this off to the side. Let's take a look at the knife itself. Titanium M390 on the blade. Beautiful, beautiful milling pattern right here and here. Gorgeous work on this. It is a button lock, and it has a very interesting thumb stud on it, which is really cool. Has some nice milling on that as well. A window, but not a full cut through. Has beautiful satin titanium backspacer, flipper tab, milled titanium pocket clip, and a little bit of jimping back here. So this knife, finished in stone wash, is really one of, gosh, I don't know, I think I counted like a dozen different finishes that they offer. There is a ton of different finishes, and they have warthog bone, and they have mammoth tooth, and they have abalone, and they have carbon fibers, and lots of different options here. So lots of different choices to make, and they're beautiful inlays on here, still titanium. One thing that is really cool about Arno Bernard is that they make their own screws, their own bearing housings. They make everything in-house, and their tolerances are outstanding. On top of that is they hand polish all their parts so that everything fits the way it does. There's no lock stick or anything. So let's open this thing up. And that opens so nicely. Very, very easy, very simple. And then if you look inside here, and try and get it, there is lots and lots of skeletonization on the inside of the scales here. And that's to drop the weight down on this. So it is not a heavy knife. It's a relatively light knife, to be quite honest with you. Beautiful jimping back here. And you can open it by thumb stud, you can open it by flipper, you can open it by button, you can reverse flick this thing. So if you're into the fidget or you want different modes of actuation, this knife has it all. So let's talk about size. Specs on the knife. Comes in at 8 inches overall. It's a 3.4 inch blade, and it weighs just 3.84 ounces. Let's do some size comparisons using knives that we are typically familiar with. So this is a Demko 80-20.5, and this is a Demko Shark Cub. You can see that it is bigger than both. I'm also going to show you it next to a Benchmade Bug Out, and against a Kaiser Drop Bear. As you can see, again, bigger than both. So this is a full-size knife. Now, I must say that I am thoroughly impressed with this because there is absolutely zero stick in this button. Typically, plunge locks have that button stick, that lock stick. This does not. It is just smooth, absolutely glassy action on this that just falls so nice. It's fun to fidget, it is super comfortable, and this knife is absolutely outstanding. But there is always a but. Quality like this comes at a price. Now, I'm not going to say the price on here because I'm sure that they don't want me to. But I will tell you that this definitely does come in at a pretty big number. So if you want a knife like this, you pay for it. But personally, I see the value. I think that it absolutely has the worth there. So let's talk about ergos. Ergos in hand. I have double XL hands. Very comfortable fit. 4 fingers, no problem. Plenty of room on that handle. Bearing down, I have no hot spots. I have no pinch points. I will say that I do feel the pocket clip, but it doesn't create a hot spot or a problem. Now, I'm not gripping this for 30-40 minutes of hard work, so I can't tell you what that's going to feel like at that point. It may create one at that point, but I can tell you that for just doing this, no issues. It does have a nice finger choil right here. So you choke up here, finger on the jimping, no problem. I can absolutely go to work with this knife. This is home to me. You can pinch grip this and get some detail cuts, draw cuts, cut around boxes, and things like that. Very, very nice. So as far as ergonomics go, this knife is incredibly comfortable. Fidget, absolutely. All day, every day. Now, I'm going to stay quiet for a second because the sound on this knife is outstanding. And you don't feel the bearings in here. The bearings, the tolerances on the bearings are so tight that you don't have any wobble whatsoever on the bearings. These don't feel like washers. They don't have that tight, glassy feeling of those where it's almost hydraulic after they work in. This is very much bearing action, but it does not have bearing feel. So this is really a special knife. I really, really enjoy this one. So let's do the business and check out that pocket clip. What do you think? We're going to pull our test pants out. For those of you new to the channel, I use medium thickness jeans as a test. I'm going to put this knife inside that pocket, see how easy the knife slides in, its retention, as well as how easy it slides out, and whether or not it will do any damage to the edges of the seams. So we'll do a quick look at this. There's a reasonable ramp there, plenty of room, so we shouldn't have any issue with that. It's just a matter of whether or not that ramp is enough or whether we're going to bunch the edge up. And you can see that there's a little bit of pressure there. It definitely does not slide in super smooth. It does sit relatively low, probably 1/3 of an inch. It's not quite 1/2 an inch, probably a little more than 1/4 sticking out of the pocket, so it's not deep carry, but it sits pretty deep in the pocket, so pretty good there. It does have plenty of retention, so this is not going to slip out of your pocket, slide around, or anything like that. And then sliding out is no problem. So the ramp on this pocket clip has plenty of ramp on the inside here, but not enough ramp on the front here. So it does create a little bit of an issue on the pocket clip. Not major. I would still buy this knife, absolutely. And it does get a passing grade, but I would give it probably like a CC minus if we're talking about school grades. All in all, the tolerances on this knife are outstanding. The fit and finish on this knife is outstanding. Fidgetability, sound, action, everything about this knife, with the exception of that pocket clip, is exceptional. And I think I need one of these. Honestly, these things are absolutely stunning, and it's a treat to be able to handle one of these and be able to play with one for a few minutes. So I ask you all, have you ever handled an Arno Bernard knife, and what do you think about it? Do you think that, well, I'm not going to say the number, but I would just recommend that you look this knife up and see, do you think that the Turaco comes in at a reasonable price for what you're getting, or do you think that this is a highly overpriced knife? I'd love to hear what you think, so give us a comment. Do me a favor, like and subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber to our channel, and check out our Instagram at Wyvern Kodiak, and then join us on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern in the Dragon's Lair for our YouTube Live. We love to hang out, bring guests on, and talk about knives, EDC stuff, and whatever else comes to mind. So we'd love to hear from you. Please check it out, give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. You all take care.